I think events are something that sales and marketing agree on. I think salespeople like events, and so it's very easy to get salespeople to buy into an event, particularly when companies are first starting off or when a company is starting up. If the salesperson isn't very busy and they don't have a lot of opportunities to spend their time to selling in their pipeline, they're more than willing to go to an event and prospect and work the trade show stand. I've worked at companies where salespeople are so busy they don't have time to go to events, and then the whole event becomes more of a marketing function. But I think salespeople like events because they feel like something's happening. I think campaigns are very virtual to salespeople. So when sales and marketing work together and sales has an opinion on what kind of marketing activities to do, events kind of always come to the top because they're very visible, they're very tangible, they get to participate. Really, they feel like something's happening.
I think people's time is precious and everybody's trying to do so much in the 5-day week that to take half a day out to go to a conference or event is, very challenging. And I think the senior you are, the harder that challenge is. I think online activity and content has obviously evolved and means that people can find out a lot more information without physically actually going to an event. I do think there is still a place for events, but we're a lot more selective. We've definitely narrowed down on the amount of larger exhibitions that we get involved with these days because we weren't finding there was a huge benefit from that, but there are some that we still do get involved with. I think roundtables where you can demonstrate there's a peer-to-peer involvement as well seem to be key. People want to go and listen to what their counterpart in a competing organisation is doing, or similar to what they do themselves, because they then can relate to those challenges. And I think if we can articulate that and we can host it and we can add in a few additional elements for our own expertise and maybe an analyst as well, I think that is a great sort of event, and it's got great ingredients to have some success from it.
So reaching a senior audience is always difficult. As you say, they profess to have no time, they're very busy, but actually I think they just they manage their time very effectively and they have lots of appointments in their diary. And so it's understanding what works for those individuals. So in some cases, it's about, from a pure hospitality point of view, it's about offering them something they don't get anywhere else. That doesn't necessarily mean it's, spending the most money on the most expensive seats at a particular sports activity. It's around the experience you give them. And so we've seen things work where the way the activity is managed, the professionalism that you deliver it with, the small touches at the event are actually what differentiates it, alongside clearly good venues and good activities. But quite often hospitality can fall down in the respect of you can buy expensive seats, but then you don't worry about how the individual gets to and from the event. You don't worry about the experience they have there. You don't ask them how they're going to get home and can you help them do that. You don't look to connect them with people that they care about. So in that respect, I think it's about, again, thinking about the quality of the execution rather than how much money you're necessarily going to spend.
So I work across a number of different organisations, largely technology orientated, and a common theme of successful channel for us has been, interestingly, user groups. Getting our current customers in a room with some of our prospects, talking about industry issues, talking about specific challenges and issues that they've had that may or may not have involved some of our solutions, has actually created an environment of trust, openness, ideas generation that has led very rapidly through to closure of the next bit of business. The challenge is obviously getting these people in a room together in busy times with busy agendas and diaries, but that's worth persevering for because we've had very good sales results when you get your own customers doing your selling for you in a stimulating, educative, thought leadership type environment.